Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes soloing the Stalker. We're level 21. We have 4,500 XP to go to get to level 22. I'm pretty sure we're going to get there this episode. We're on the Wheel of Destruction story arc. We've done parts 1, 2, and 4. We're now doing part 3 because of a bug. Um, yeah, let's go on in and defeat the leader and his coven. And we're very close to level 22. We should get there this episode. We just have 2 beads, really 1 bead to go because we're almost filled with this bead. So, finished with this bead. So we're gonna just get to single origin enhancers and then fill up on SOs. So we just have a couple more missions to go of struggling with endurance, and then our endurance problems won't be completely over, but they should be a lot better once we get a full set of SOs going. And we're going to do a lot more damage with our attacks, and we're going to hit more, and all of that good stuff. We're also going to get our last toggle, or well, our next toggle, which will give us our energy and other defenses to make them better. Our energy defense will eventually be at least, I think, just about at least as good as our physical and lethal, which is very rare, but because we are energy-based characters, and let me zoom in, it's sort of the design of this particular type of power set to be better in energy because it is an energy set. So it's sort of thematic, which is good. Because everybody's got defense against lethal and smashing, but not everybody has defenses against energy. Now, ironically, we do negative energy, and we're not going to be as good at negative energy because this isn't a dark set. It is an energy aura set. But I like the combo. And we got the Death Shaman before he was able to summon his little buddies. Bam. Yep, we definitely need recharge enhancers on that Assassin Strike as well. Right now, if we look at it, we have one dual origin. It's only giving us 15% boost, so we'll get like a 38% boost when we go to single origins. Its recharge time right now under the boost is 13 seconds. Should be down to about 11 seconds once we give it the single origin recharge enhancer. Oh, keep clicking that wrong thing. Okay. We have 5 million influence, so we'll have no trouble affording the 800,000 or 900,000 influence it takes to get a full, I guess I should call them a full batch of SOs. I used to call them a set. I'm used to calling them a set, but I don't want them to be confused with enhancement sets, such as the archetype sets and so on. So let's call them a batch of SOs. There we go. So we're going to get our toggle. We're probably going to slot it up as well as we can at level 23 and maybe 25. 24 will probably get Siphon Life, which will allow us to do a heal. You don't just heal yourself. You hit somebody, you drain their life, and give it to yourself. So it's an attack that does damage, and it heals you, which is like super awesome. Where's this entrance, exit, whatever here? Here we go. Oh, no, it's a dead end, so we got to go south. So yeah, I'm very excited. We only have about 3/4 of a bar left, just this, and we'll get to level 22. So we're gonna probably have that happen in this mission since we've already gotten like an entire bar so far. And I didn't get him fast enough, but that's okay, buddy, because we're gonna just get more XP. Let's take it. Let me do a multi-person attack there. So we're going to need, eventually when we get sets, we're going to need an AoE set, right, for this. We're going to need straight up damage set for Assassin Strike. We'll probably put an ATO set on that, and probably the other ATO set will be on, my guess would be, probably Smite, which we use so much. So the archetype sets are kind of the best sets you can get, really, unless you have a really specific need. They're really good for your archetype. I tend to put them on the bread and butter attacks that you use the most. In that case, that would probably be the Assassin's Eclipse. And Smite. Smite is better than Shadow Punch in terms of doing more damage, and then this one, it's an AoE, so assuming it's a single target enhancer set, it wouldn't work on Shadow Maul. Although it might work on Shadow Maul because Shadow Maul is a targeted attack and is not it's not an attack that where you target the ground, right? It's targeting a person. So I don't know. I almost always put AoE sets on those. I don't remember. I might have to go back and look at how I enhanced Quintessence last. Oh boy, I ran out of endurance. I wasn't watching. That was stupid. Hopefully we will see an end to these problems as soon as we finish this mission. Alright, let's take a knee. Yeah, one thing you can do, or you should do, and I haven't been doing, is watch the difference between the endurance bar and the health bar. If your health bar is way higher than endurance, you can afford to stand there and wait and let your powers recharge and your endurance tick up because your health is ahead of the game. If your health is down here and your endurance is up here, that's when you need to run your toggles and run your endurance so that you can prevent that health from dropping any further, right? But so far, our health bar is held up against these guys pretty well. The real problem is going up against a Death Shaman and not doing build-up is not quite doing enough damage to take them out. They summon two guys, and then it just exhausts me beating them up because they're 50% resistant to one of my two damage types, right? Now, I remember, guys, I've told this story in the old days. Man, oh man. In the old days, people slotted rest. Right, early on, when you don't have your other powers and you don't have health slotted or any of that, these are like blasters and controllers and stuff. The one guy had like triple slotted rest and put triple recharge enhancers. Now rest, this is just a toggle now, but it used to be a recharge, and it used to be, I think, a 10-minute recharge. And he had hasten, I think, but he also triple or quadruple slotted or something rest. So he was able to rest after almost every couple battles, and we're like, how are you doing that? And he said, oh, I put all these recharge slots in, all these slots in rest, and put single origin rechargers on it. Now, you can bet that he regretted it in the long run because he didn't have enough slots for his other powers, and he eventually had to do a respec in the Terra Volta respec trial to fix himself up. But there were also people who slotted Brawl, right? Because they didn't, like, early on, when you only have a few powers, they were putting slots on Brawl. And the idea was, well, you know, it like recharges almost instantly, and it doesn't cost a lot of endurance to use. Yes, but it also doesn't do anything, right? I mean, look at Brawl does not do 56 damage, guys. It does 10 damage. Not 56. I don't know where it's getting 56 from. Let's look in the enhancement screen, because maybe there's a little bit of a bug there. Yeah, there's no way. How is it doing 56 damage? That's not possible. It does 10. Let me prove it. It does not do 56 damage. Let's put the whoops, no, this. Let's put the combat on here, and let's go and brawl some guys, because there's no way that does 56 damage. I don't know what I have no idea what it's showing us there. But that's not possible. Because that would be better than enhanced Shadow Maul. Alright, so let's assassinate this guy, and then we're going to wait for the build-up to fade. Right? Okay, build-up is gone. Now Brawl. Punch. What does it do? 11 damage, not 56. Shadow Punch does all that, right? Smite Does all that. It's not worth enhancing Brawl. You could maybe get it to do 30 damage, which is what Shadow Punch, almost what Shadow Punch does unenhanced. We have leveled up. We're level 22, guys. And that means that after this mission, we will be having single origin enhancers. But in the meantime, let us assassinate with our bonuses and beat up. Yeah. There we go. So this should, I hope, be the last mission where we're really choking for endurance, because we're going to have our stamina. It's already, this is why I triple slotted early, because now we can put 3 enhancers on it. We can put 3 on our heals, on our healing, which will help our regen rates immensely. And we're also going to have some better damage on our powers. We might have some endurance reducers, more endurance reduction on the toggles. We should be able to run the second toggle pretty consistently now. I don't know about the third toggle. It may be a while before we can do that regularly, because we're going to need to 6 slot the powers and get endurance reducers on the attacks. Right? We're not going to probably be able to put one on Assassin's Strike, Assassin's Eclipse, but we should be able to put one on all the rest of them. So we still need to find the artifact. Storm Shaman. Alright, I'm not going to worry too much about the fact that we don't have... oh, we got to put our... Oh, these guys. Oh, yeah, they're such a pain. Missed him, of course. We're just going to stay away from his Hurricane, because you can't hit when you're inside of it. As you just saw, that drops me to 44%. Okay, here we go. Placate. Got him. Okay. We'll take that back off. Again, we have to play games with the toggles because we've got to conserve our endurance. I was thinking the Storm Shaman was the Avalanche Shaman, who are the weakest of the 3, I think. They do the least to you when you have Mez defense, right? Because they're mostly mezzing. They don't do the debuff, and they don't summon other guys. I always remember when I was playing COH, I had not yet gotten to 40th level. And I don't think the level 50 max was there yet. I hadn't gotten to 40th level. I was like this level. And I was on the forum, and one of the tanker players had posted some sort of a screenshot of something, and it had his UI in it. And he had all 4 rows of enhancements. And the first thing I thought was, wow, you get all of that large number. I thought this was the max. I didn't know you got more. But then, oh, it's a shame this guy isn't a boss. But then I also noticed all 20 of his slots were endurance. He had 40 catch breaths, or well, or 20, or like, well, 17, because he had a couple of empty boxes, but like the whole thing was catch breath. Like, that's all it was endurance. He didn't feel the need to have luck. He didn't feel the need to have damage or accuracy. He just needed endurance, so he didn't run out of endurance, because he had to run his toggles and be able to taunt and provoke. Placate. I did that a little early, but we're fine. And now we're going to click the glow. Wait, there's some more guys? Who's over here? There's nobody over here. What about in here? There. Okay, this guy's wandering around, but I don't know who the other guy's supposed to be. Click. And sometimes I click the powers. They don't seem to trigger. I guess I'm just like a pixel off when I click it or something like that. Alright. And now we have finished the third part of Wheel of Destruction. And we're going to head out. We're going to talk to our contact, and then we're going to train up, guys, and we're going to get single origin enhancers. Let's talk to Keller. And we got to take the pieces to Azuria. Well, that's actually fine. What we'll do is head to Atlas Park. Boop, 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 boop. Bam. And then we'll level up and we can go right to Azuria. Whoa. Okay. Super jump. Sell. I don't think we have to keep any of these, do we? Nope. So we will sell. Boop, 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 boop. Sell. And now we go to Miss Liberty over here, who's been recostumed, it looks like, for Christmas. That's cool. Train up to a new level of power. And we're going to get Power Shield, so we can start putting slots on it. We're going to put that up here. And now I think what we're going to do is we're going to move the Mez defense down here so I keep it separated and I don't forget which toggle is which. And now we're going to get our single origin enhancers. Do these guys sell them? I don't think so. Oh, maybe they do. Yeah, they do. Alright, so we don't have to go to the sign shop anymore. Everybody sells everything, it looks like. Okay, so we're going to purchase right here. Let's jot down how much influence it takes. So right now, we have 5,683,000 influence. I'm going to round it to the thousands. 5.683 million. And we'll see how much we have left after we're done purchasing. Let's take a look at our character here. And I really wish there was, you could click on this trash can and just delete every enhancement. We're going to take a look. Let's rip everything out. We're even going to rip, let's just rip this one out. We'll see how much it costs to buy a full set. It's just one enhancement, so we're not going to worry about it. Oh, this is such a pain to drag them all down. Alright guys, I'm going to pause it here, and when I'm done deleting, I'll bring you back. Alright, so we're here. Let's figure out what we need. Let's start with the primaries. Every one of the attack powers is going to need accuracy. So there's going to be 4 accuracies, right? And then, so let's see. Let's look at these triples, right? I think these guys are all going to be accuracy, recharge, and endurance. And then we'll add the damage later. Assassin's Eclipse is going to be triple damage for sure. A recharge. I guess it'll be also an endurance and an accuracy. We'll try going with 1 accuracy and see how it goes. When we move up to +1s and +2s, we may need more accuracy. So for now, it looks like we need 1, 2, 3, 4 accuracies, 4 recharges, 5, 6 recharges, and then 4 endurances. So let's start with that. 4 accuracies. 6 recharges. Well, let's see, 4 endurances. And 6 recharges. Okay, so that's how we're going to start. So we have our accuracies, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have endurance reducer, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have our recharge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So Smite is now going to recharge faster, right? It's going to recharge in 4 seconds instead of 6. It's going to have 1.38 accuracy, which is pretty good, and its endurance is going to be 5 instead of almost 7. So that's good. So then we want 3 damages on Assassin's Eclipse, and let's get triple heal and triple endurance recovery for health and stamina. So here's damage, right? 1, 2, 3. And then we have endurance modification, 1, 2, 3. And we have heal, 1, 2, 3. Right, so we're going to finish out our primaries. So these primaries are now up to this point done, right? We have endurance modification and stamina. And we have heal in health, right? So then we need endurance reductions on all 3 of these, and then 3 damages and 3 resists. Or 3 defenses and 3 resists. So we need 3 endurance reduction, 3 resist damage, and 3 defense buff. Which is where? There. Okay. This is how I do it to avoid buying the wrong things, because a lot of times I buy the wrong things by accident. So I just do them a little at a time. And we now have a pretty decent set. All we need to do is buy a run speed and a jump speed for Swift and Hurdle, and we're done. So run, jump. Oh, also we need a couple jumps, because we also need combat jumping and super jump. So let's do those 2. Jump, 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 run. So we've done a complete set. Everything is done, and now in the future, all these things have to be done is upgraded, unless we make inventions, which won't happen until we're like 30th level. So let's take a look at how much influence we now have. 4.77 million, right? And so that means it took about 900,000, 913,000. So to do a complete batch of SOs, including all of the stuff that you don't need to do, like jump for hurdle and run for Swift, costs about 900,000. And then it goes up by a few 100,000 each level. So this character now should be really awesome. We should be able to run our this toggle here for Mez defense. We should be in really good shape. And now we're going to go to Azuria. We're going to jump further and faster now. And we're going to do a little more damage, but not a lot. But we're going to recharge. Our powers are going to recharge faster. We might be very close to a closed attack chain. I don't think we have one, but I think we're close. And I think with the next attack power, Siphon Life, we will, and once that's enhanced, we will have a closed attack chain. We're close enough, we might be able to take this range thing off the board, though we probably won't ever take it completely off, because sometimes it's useful to just be able to attack at range. Okay, Wheel of Destruction, Part 6. So we've done, have we done 5? No, we did 1, 2, 4, 3. Now we've done 6. Patrol Independence Port, and then we're going to probably do Part 5, I guess. I really wish they would reorganize that. But okay. So that's unfortunate, because I wanted to showcase our powers, and right now all we're going to be doing is Super Jump in Independence Port. So yeah, I remember the good old days of people slotting Brawl, slotting Rest. You, of course, had to buy the currently the now inherent fitness pool. It was a separate pool. So at level 6, you would buy combat jumping, and a lot of people at level 8 would then buy swift or hurdle. And then you'd at level 14, you'd buy your movement power, and either 16 or 18, you would buy health, because you needed to have health in order to have stamina. And so yeah, like that ate up a lot of power choices. And in those days, people were 6 slotting health and stamina. So that ate up a lot of slots. So now imagine if you 6 slotted health, you 6 slotted stamina, and you were crazy enough to 6 slot rest and brawl. I mean, they all start with 1 slot, but that's 20 slots. You don't get that many. I mean, you only get like, what do you get? 25 levels of slots right out of 50, and you get 2 for some and 3 for some, so you get about maybe 80 slots total that you get to add to your powers, and you're going to waste like 20 of them on things like brawl and stuff like that. Those slots are precious. In fact, on the Rebirth server, so both Rebirth and Homecoming do slightly different things. On the Rebirth server, you automatically get slots in health and stamina that don't count as slots that you use. So I don't remember the exact, like a level 12 you get, or maybe level 14 you get a slot in health, level 16 you get a slot in health, level 18 you get a slot in stamina, level 20 you get a slot in stamina, or something like that. And in addition to whatever slots you get and powers you get at those levels. And so it just, you don't have to put slots into those yourself. They just come automatically. And I love that. So I don't have to put slots into that because I'm always slot poor. In fact, I've said many times I rarely need a power. The last power choice you get is at level 49. And I've said many, many times I rarely need anything at level 49. I'm usually just taking some sort of a power just because you have to take one. But I rarely need one. And most of the time, I'd rather have more slots. And I always said I wish you had the option at level 49 of either taking a new power or just adding 3 more slots. Because there's always some power or other that I don't have enough slots for that I wish I did. Is that it? Okay. Wheel of Destruction finale. Did we not do? Oh, maybe part 5 was Azuria. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go into the finale. And just board a train. Alright, so we're just going to head to the train. We have 90 minutes. It should be okay. Now, I often struggle with this, finding the last little pieces of the wheel. But one thing that's nice about the Stalker is we can travel all over the map. We won't aggro anything. We just fight the guys near those pieces, and then fight the big bad at the end. And that guy we should be able to take out pretty easily with our buffed up Assassin Strike and our recharges on these powers and everything else. So we're going to head in and finish the Wheel of Destruction, guys. I hope you're enjoying. This will be our Season 1 finale, and then Season 2 will be how this character plays with SOs. So it'll probably be to level 35-ish, and then when we start getting sets, we'll move into Season 3. Now the biggest pain with this is these door missions that lead to outdoor areas are on the world timer, which means when it's night here, it's night there, and it's really hard finding stuff in the dark on these maps. So, okay, we need to find 4 artifacts and close the portal. The portal will be a 5th thing to find. So we need to look very carefully because I've often missed stuff as I go around this map. There's stuff behind things, behind a gravestone, etc. So we want to try to look very carefully without falling. And there's a glowy. Hear one and see one. Okay, we should be able to grab this without aggroing anybody. We will fight these two guys, but let's grab the clue first and wait till we're hidden again. And this is and we got a temporary power. So these are the really cool Wheel of Destruction powers. So we want to keep them on our tray. But, of course, we want to assassinate, right? So let's see how we do. Yeah. And I'm going to shoot you with the fire now. These guys, I think, are vulnerable to fire. The Banished Pantheon. So the nice thing about this is I can go wherever I want and they can't see me. We definitely want to find all the parts of the wheel. So I'm trying to use my ears as well as my eyes, and it is starting to get dark, unfortunately. That doesn't stay dark for that long in COH. All the times I've done this, do you think I would remember where they put the stuff? Nope. Here's another glowy, right? Alright, so these guys will need to be dealt with. Avalanche Shaman. Actually, I should hit him without the build-up just to see how much damage it does and whether I can take him out without the build-up. The fire effects in this game are so cool. No temporary power. This is a melee, right? I think. Yep, so we'll leave that with our melee powers. Oh, we want to keep super jump on. Okay, let's continue looking around. Even using the map, I lose track of where I am in here. Alright, let's go around the other side. We haven't gone down into the pit yet. That's okay. We'll go down there eventually, but let's look around the side first. Let's see if there's anything here. Don't see anything. Now there is a bad guy to fight in this main area, but he's not going to spawn yet. Alright, so time to go down into the main area. Let's see if we can see anything. This is real needle in a haystack work. Here's another glowy. Okay. Let's do it without the build-up. Stop walking around. You're annoying me. Got him. That completely owns him. That's great. That's fun. Missed. Missed. Notice we have 95% to hit with our powers, but with the temp powers it's only 75%. Right, this is why I don't use temp powers a lot. It's fun in this particular mission, but I'm saying to close the portal and find the last piece. And we got another temporary power, and it's another melee power too. Cool. There's the portal. So what I don't like about this, unless they've changed it, in this mission, the last piece will not show up as an asterisk. I don't know why. Because if it did, it would be easy to find. Now maybe they've changed it. Nope. So that what always happens is then I cannot find the last piece. And since it doesn't show up as an asterisk, I just end up looking forever. And of course, night falls and then I can't see anything. So this is where I feel like, okay, I've been just about everywhere. Where is the last one? It won't be in here, I don't think. Right, because this is where you come in to fight the boss at the end over here. We can at least take advantage of taking these guys out. Right? So that they don't get involved in the boss fight. But this happens to me literally every time. As much as I love the Wheel of Destruction, I hate the fact that in this mission they don't give you that little asterisk. And I always can't find the last one, and I have to spend, 20 or 30 minutes, not an hour, but usually 20 or 30 minutes going all over this map, trying to figure out where haven't I been, where haven't I looked, where haven't I listened. And so I think this will probably have to be the third or fourth or fifth time in a row. Did I see a glowy over here? The third or fourth or fifth time in a row where I say, I'm going to pause it, guys, and I'll bring you back when I find it. So I will pause it here and I'll bring you back when I find it. Alright, guys, I found it. We're back in this corner here, way in the corner. And I guess I had gone up and not come back down here when I realized this part of the map wasn't finished. I figured that had to be where it was, and sure enough, it is here. I still wish they would give you that asterisk for the last one instead of making you crawl all over the map. I was starting to beat up everybody, figuring there's almost always a couple bad guys next to the spawn points of the chests. And then here's this guy. So this is new, actually. I was thinking about that as I was doing it. The Wheel of Destruction is an original story arc, but the outdoor missions were added later. So, we don't need the fire shield. So the Wheel of Destruction has been changed from its original inception, right? Because originally it must have been in an indoor mission, probably a cave. So the bad guy... There he is. Oh, how is he only a lieutenant? Why is he only a lieutenant? He should be a boss or an elite boss. No, I mean, that's just sad. I thought he was a boss. Why is he a lieutenant? Just one-shot him. Fire works pretty well against these guys. That's the mission. We get 23 reward merits. And that's the end of the Wheel of Destruction. Let's head out. Unfortunately, I don't know how well that mission really showcased the powers of this character. Let's see if we can find some enemies here to battle and, just fight a spawn or two of them. And does he still have this other story arc? The one about the mystery man, but no. Alright, so we're going to do Agent G. Let's see if we can find just a normal spawn of guys. Okay, so we have 2 lieutenants and some button men. Alright, so let's just do that. And so you can see how we do. Good job there. And you, we're going to placate you. Oh, but you ran away. Where are you going? Trying to assassinate you, buddy. Don't run away too far. It's okay. So it's not too bad, right? Doing pretty well. Tips. Oh, and we have the independence port, so I should get all of these as well. So anyway, hopefully that gives you a somewhat of a sense of how we're going to perform. I didn't have any trouble with endurance in that last mission, but the spawns are pretty far apart, and that gave the endurance time to tick up. So one of the things we're going to need to look at is how our endurance does when we're in a mission where there are a lot of spawns back to back. Are we going to be able to keep going quickly, or are we going to need to slow down? If we can keep going quickly, that's a good sign, and maybe possibly perhaps we can start to put power shield on. I think we might be able to, since we have all of our powers endurance reduced other than build up and placate, which don't really need it because they don't take a lot of endurance, and placate doesn't take any, and build up just takes 5. You don't use it that much, right? We have endurance reducers on everything else, so we probably can run power shield now. So let's go ahead and put that on. We should be able to run it. It may be a little tough. What's going to help is when we get triple damages on all these guys, so that we're not having to throw as many punches, right? So that will help eventually. But for now, I think we'll be okay. We'll try it in the next episode and see how we do with power shield on and off. But I want to keep power shield on if possible. This gives us 31 with everything on, 31 smashing and lethal defense, 22% fire, 26% energy, 80% negative, and then of course very little psionic and toxic. Until next time, guys, I am Scrapperlock. I'll see you in Season 2 of Soloing the Stalker.